Hello scrappers and planet lovers, Tin Man here with another video. So one of my good friends is currently doing a major house renovation and he was gracious enough to give me all of his copper wiring. Shout out to George and family, I appreciate it and thank you. And given the prices right now of copper, which are an all-time high, I could bring this copper wire in as is. There's about 100 pounds of it. And get between $1.21 to $1.83, depending on the type of coating and wire and copper recovery. However, it is a lot better, given the prices of clean copper, to actually take the time to strip it down. With a job like this, it is well worth your investment to get a stripper. I have a basic model stripper that was about $200, and not only does it speed up the process, but it will increase your profits by about 4 times. And it is very easy and quick to make that money back. What I've actually done is I've gone ahead and called the scrapyard. Currently, right now in London, Ontario, Canada, for Bare Bright copper, which is the highest copper, this shiny stuff, it is going for $4.55 a pound. And the prices are actually for 100 pounds and more. For number 1 copper, it is going for $4.35 a pound. And number 2 copper is going for $4.25 a pound. So that is for clean copper. The wiring, there are actually 2 different categories for copper wiring. I'm going to actually show you right now, interestingly, this wire is actually called, if I bring it up to the camera, NMD7, 90 degrees Celsius. This wire was actually put in the early 80s. This is really interesting stuff, and it actually has like a weird meshy, paperish, messy outer coating. Inside there is paper, and there are 3 strands of copper. One of them, the middle one, is clean, and there are 2 that have a coating. And what scrapyards look at is, when they are looking at insulated copper wire, is they look at copper recovery and copper to coating ratio. If the wire has more wiring, as you can see, this one, because it has an outer wire or outer coating as well as the 2 strands inside have coating, this would be more plastic and less copper, so less copper to plastic ratio, which would be more of a 40% recovery. Still, great price, $1.21. If this did not have the outer coating, as you can see here, I've already stripped some of it. Because this is now 1 coating, this would be, if I brought this in as is, $1.83. Okay, so it all depends on that. This wiring, as I said, is easy to strip off. It does leave a little residue, so this is one of the wires. Another wire that I got out of there, this is another NMD7. It's just a blue coating. This does not have the fiber mesh on it. This is more of a rubberized. But what I love about this is if I cut this open, okay, which I'm going to do, and I'm also going to put my safety glasses on, because anytime I deal with copper wire, the ends can be very pokey or pointy, and any scrapping is not worth my eyesight. So all I'm going to do is just quickly make an incision here. I don't even need my stripper for this stuff. I'm going to find the inner wire, the clean one. Okay, and as you can see, I just opened it up. These also have an outer layer as well as plastic coating on the inner ones, as well as, some paper. But all I'm going to do is just going to take this and pull it down. This was a trick my brother taught me. Okay, shout out to Brandon. He's an electrician. Okay, but what I love about this stuff is, once I get it out, okay, this, as you can see, looks brand new. So this wiring is from the early 80s, but it is actually, look at that, look how clean that is. It is what we classify as Bare Bright. Now, Bare Bright, one thing I do want to mention is Bare Bright does not necessarily mean just because it's shiny and new. When you deal with Bare Bright, it only pertains to copper wiring. So any copper tubing is not bare bright, it will be number 1. But your copper wiring, in order for it to be classified as bare bright, it has to be bigger than 16 gauge. And to picture that, 16 gauge is about the thickness of a lead pencil. Okay, so this, because it is thicker than a lead pencil or higher than 16 gauge, this will be classified as bare bright. Okay, and as you can see, I've got a really nice pile of it so far. I already have about 6 pounds of bare bright from this, which is awesome. And now, all I'm going to do, if I just take this outer coating off, which I'm just going to pull out. Okay, I'm going to just pull it, get back from the camera. So it just slides out. Okay, I'm just going to remove the paper. It just slides out too. As you can see now, this has become less plastic because it now only has 1 layer. This would be 60% copper recovery. So now going from taking that little work, $1.21 to $1.83 a pound. Okay, so that is definitely one option if you don't have a stripper. As I said though, I would not tackle a job like this without a stripper. It is literally shaved days off of my time. And just to compare that wire, this is your more modern Romex wire. Okay, so built kind of the same. If you look at, they're the same gauges, but look at the difference in thickness. Okay, so they're the same thickness or same gauge, but a lot more plastic on that. Same thing. If I took it, there is my middle wire. Okay, there is the bare bright, and just notice the difference in color. The older one is actually more shiny. Okay. Again, I have my coating here. There, this is going to go now into the garbage, and now I have 60% copper recovery. Okay, so $1.83 for this now. And don't get me wrong, there is some waste lost. Okay, this bag is just the outer coatings. There is actually 20 pounds or just about 20 pounds of garbage there with paper and the outer coating that unfortunately has to go to the landfill. But again, given the price and the thickness of this copper, it is worth your time. And what I'm going to do is actually, I'm just going to show you a couple of these pieces. This is the, as I said, the NMD wire. I'm going to put one of these through the wire stripper just to show you what it's made of and how it works. Okay, I do have other gauged wire as well here. This is going to, if I bring this to the camera, this is actually going to the stove. This is NMD7, but a thicker gauge. So you can see inside of that, it has the plastic covering on the 3 prongs as well as the paper. Okay, and I am gonna also make sure I take the time to strip those. But just gonna quickly strip a couple here to show you how nice this is. How nice it is to have a stripper. So this stripper here is a Stripmeister basic model. I think I paid $260 for it. I use it all the time. It's great. And as I said, all it's going to be is to just take off the outer coating. I could use a knife, but it is very messy. As you can see, my hands, my garage has a lot of this powder on it. Okay, but all I'm going to do is throw it through. And I can do spools of this. Okay, so there you go. Sometimes there's a kink in it, so I just got to turn it. But as you can see, I'm going to bring this up to the camera. Here is my wire. Okay, this would not be classified as bare bright. It would be classified still as a number 1. There is a little bit of tarnish. And there may be a little bit of coating on that. All I'm actually going to do is actually put it into vinegar. One of my subscribers said put it in vinegar. It actually dissolves some of the coating, which is great. It does have a little bit of a weird, I want to say sticky feel to it. But again, I think the vinegar definitely will take that off. And as you can see, here's my outer coating. Kind of weird. It is messy, okay, but there's my outer coating. And inside, just gonna peel the paper off. Okay, sliding it off there. And there you go. As you can see, there is some really nice, now 60% copper recovery. But again, because I have a stripper, I would go one step further. So again, just with a little bit of work, going from $1.83 to, this is actually probably gonna be Bear Bright. I'm just gonna change my gauge here. Okay, all I do is very easy. This knob at the top lowers or raises the cutter deck or the blade. I'm just gonna put my glasses on. Okay, so unfortunately I'm gonna have to change the deck here. And that's okay. Believe me, it's well worth my little 2 seconds of changing the cutter deck to maximize my profit. Okay, unfortunately I have to change the deck. There we go. So, as you can see inside, there is the beautiful copper. Okay, so this would actually go as Bear Bright, which is awesome. Okay, that is the NMD wire that I had from that. As you can see, I have a huge pile. There's actually 20 pounds of it right here that I still have to go through. So even looking at that 20 pounds right there, taking that outer coating off, I'm gonna now make, even if I wanna say that it's number 1 copper, I'm gonna make $4.50 a pound. Okay, so well worth my time. Almost $100 just from that. I'm probably going to make about $400 or even $380 on the lower side, just as a quick estimation, but definitely well worth my investment to get that stripper. I've already spent probably 3 hours taking apart and stripping this wire, which would have taken me days. So hopefully that helped. Definitely, this is a time to buy a stripper. Definitely a great way to maximize your profit as a scrapper. Remember, copper is our scrapper's gold. Again, thank you and a big shout out to George and family. Thank you again for your wire. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please comment down below, like, share, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one. Tin Man out.